How many goals have you set that you haven't even attempted yet? Like, is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 200? I think the reason why I have a lot of success in my career is because I've failed, and I have failed so many times. And the reason why I fail so much is because I set big, unrealistic goals that do allow me to expand, but also to fail. The first business that I ever actually started, I went bankrupt, and I felt like such a failure. Like, things didn't go the way that I wanted them to go. I remember I was living in the car, I was homeless at the time, I just lost someone that was really close to me. Me and my partner were just sitting there looking out at the ocean. Something had to change. I wanted things to be different. I want to take you on a journey behind the scenes of myself and the team working on one of our big things that we work on. And this is a workshop with over 25,000 people online, tuning in from all over the world, 36 speakers, and all of this relies on one cable plugged into the wall. I didn't pack the car very well. Cool space, eh? The most unrealistic goal I've ever set myself, it was actually changing my life and getting out of the class that I was in, like living in, I guess, like government housing and everything like that, and just being around that low socioeconomic area. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I grew up in it, and I loved my childhood, but I also got told all the time it was impossible to change and be anyone else and be anywhere else.
Did I ever envision us being here with the summit and having a production this big? Not at the start of our relationship, but as we've grown together and as I've seen what Jai can accomplish, it doesn't seem as crazy as it probably should. But yeah, when we first got together, he used to be an electrician. So just a tradie, and then to be here, like, is pretty mind-boggling.
Look at that. It's real cool because, like, if I'm starting there, you get someone just stand there. So while I'm start talking, and then they literally can, like, sort of just go like this for a little while, and then they finish down there, you know. So you get that cool effect. And then that's it. And then you basically stop there, and then when you finish, before you finish, you just pull it back. Right, guys, up next is blah, blah, blah. And then just let it flow like that. And then it stops itself.
There's a lot of crazy adventures that me and Jai have been on as I've been working for him. Pivoting businesses from wedding photography to education was huge, but I definitely think the biggest thing, the most underprepared and in the deep end we've both been, was definitely the first wedding photography summit.
No one actually knew what we were talking about. There was nothing. There was no YouTube tutorials, so that was another thing. There was no software for us in 2020 to, like, put this together. People were just starting to work out what online events were. There was nothing perfected. And so for us, like, we really had to go back and literally use our imaginations. I remember Morgan and I just brainstorming, spending sessions, like, just arguingly, proactively on, like, how can we come out with the best result, challenging each other, and then coming to what we believe as the best result for this event. All right, we've got behind the scenes of the summit. We've got Andrew over here. This is where it's all going to be. Summit's happening right there. So the summit is essentially just like it was a big Jai show really this year, because I'm in everything. But what it is, it's a big gathering to bring incredible education at an affordable price to the masses.
How you feeling, Morg?
I was a little stressed rolling in, to be honest. Excited, nervous. I like have a slight little shake going on. It's all happening.
So, some of the most unrealistic things that we're shooting for at the moment, definitely all the summits we've put on. Every summit has taken a new level. Jai's gone from investing 20 grand in the first summit, or 50 grand I think it was, to now 150 grand. Like, we're going from getting venues for free sort of thing to paying 3.5 grand for this venue and then 20 grand for a huge screen that's behind me. Like, things are just escalating with every event. So I think with every project, Jai manages to put a new ceiling that we're aiming for that is ridiculously higher than the last.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to.
There's no point putting them up until the screens are up, yeah?
No, I'm just getting them in place and everything. Once the screens are up, we'll have to come around.
Yeah.
Bring these out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably move them right in.
Yeah, definitely. We want to sit them basically like so you see no hole.
Yeah, so they're just popping over the top.
So basically the guys running our animations is sick, so we're having to get him remotely to manage his screen. Have you got the phone there? Thanks, Guy. Yeah, so 587.
Day one we rocked up here to set up for the summit, and there was meant to be 3 guys setting up these huge screens behind us. There's only 2. These dudes were meant to set up in 4 hours. It took them 9. We were meant to have half a day to set up our lights, which, we've spent a bit of money on, which we need to figure out ourselves. One of our camera settings to get the lights all right, to get the screen right with the cameras, make everything look good. All day, basically, the screen was just glitching out. We couldn't see hardly anything. It was unusable. It was a $20,000 investment that was worth $0. And we could have taken it out of frame if we couldn't get it any better than that. Yeah, at that point, I was fully stressed. I was worried. I could see Jai was worried as well. It's we only had one option. That was it. It wasn't working.
I think one of the biggest things that scares me the most is, as I've grown up as a photographer over the last 10 years, a lot of my favourite events, online or in person, have gone out of business and even been bankrupt. So some of the biggest ones that, we all loved for so long, they're not here anymore. And there's not many here anymore. So for this event, if we only do actually get 2,000 people, then of course the scalability of the event doesn't really work out because it relies on having a lot of people for a cheaper amount. So I'm worried for the future of this event, whether it's going to keep going or if I have to reinvent the wheel. People love the Wedding Photography Summit, and I know I don't want to stop it, but I am hyper aware of the shelf life.
We've had about 2 hours sleep at the moment. Problem last night was screens were looking terrible. They were glitching out. So we've come in an extra hour early. It's 3 a.m. right now. We're live in, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Screens are 50% the way there. If that actually, they're sort of unusable right now, aren't they?
No, we've got to get in there and do some work.
So, a little stressed.
What are you doing?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Jordan, nice to meet you.
Jordan? Yeah, nice to meet you. Pleasure. So I think that a lot of the biggest stresses for this summit itself is on a personal level. Like, it's me showing up, me standing here, having cameras and people looking around all the time. Things are going on, making sure everyone's on time, coffee's happening, community's happy, and then screens working, gear's coming in. We've got to pack out at the right time, pack in at the right time. Speakers are showing up. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of tension all the time between it going terribly wrong and then it being right.
We've got to go into fucking hyperdrive a bit. The screen, I don't know, there's lines coming through, the exposures weren't right, the animations didn't look as good. So we've got to work around. Basically the technician that we had setting everything up was ill. So he wasn't here on the day. So he was doing remote access. So he was doing everything on his end from there, but he couldn't see what was going on the screen. And when I was asking what was going on, he just kept telling me that it hasn't been set up correctly. So apparently they're going to calibrate it first thing, which we hope will work. And then everything should be smooth sailing from there. But it's a lot to figure out.
I woke up every hour at 57th minute. So 9:57, 10:57, on the hour, hey?
Yeah, shit.
And then springing out of bed too, like getting up thinking it must be the time because I'm ready. And I'm like, nope. So that was the thing.
Yeah, I was the same. I woke up at 12 and then laid there until 1. I was like, fuck. Thank God I fell back asleep.
I don't know. Yeah, I was lucky I kept falling back. So the tiredest I was though was at 1:57.
Yeah,
when I woke up.
when you had to get up.
When I had to get up, I was like, no.
In this summit itself, it has felt like that. There's always little things that go wrong, and in the moment it feels disappointing, or it feels really hard, or it may not work out. But I think after a while you get a threshold and you realize that, like, man, it's always going to work out. Because even if it didn't, I would literally just broadcast off my phone and talk to my phone, you know? So if everything else fell away, it's just the messaging I've got to get to the people. Really, you know, everything else is like bells and whistles, and it's like cool to be in a playground, to get creative, to make something fun, to bring people together so everyone can get creative. And then you got meta going on where people are taking photos of people, videos, and all sorts of shit's going on. Because this is a playground, why not have fun for us on a selfish level at the same time as impacting everybody else?
At the moment, I'm way more happy than what I was, but I can still see there's still like some bits of the screen that are black because we have to run the screen at such a low brightness to be able to see the graphics on the screen. It's like too low for the screen to make every square of LED bright. So I'm like 95% happy. Oh, a bit less. But we've got something workable. It's not complete trash now. The screen looks epic. So after about 2 hours, we finally got the screen to a point that's usable. The company sent in a new tech guy and he pulled through for us, thank fuck. I feel like we can finally breathe now because we're about to go live.
45 minutes until we're ready. Does everyone know what they're doing? Was that a yes? Does the DJ know what she's doing? Yeah. You'll work it out.
Live.
Fake it or don't make it.
That's the business method. Jai's definitely a big believer in the top 5 people that you hang out with is a reflection of you. And I think you can see that come to life in the summit and the amazing people that he brings together to create such a big production. And yeah, I think you need those people, and you need people that have obviously a wide range of skill sets, but it's so important to have people that are going to bring you up when you put on something this big, because it can be really stressful.
It's a humbling feeling to have so much love, so much support with people around you that actually want to see you succeed, and they're all working on the same goal. And I think there's too much emphasis of people trying to be self-made, but your goals can expand to the size of your team, the talent of your team, the quality of your team, and everything else can expand with the people around you, opposed to you just trying to do everything alone. The second that I learned this, everything changed.
We've got Siraj, he's on A-cam. He's going to be pushing around the camera and taking some videos and stuff as well. Andy's over here, he's going to do a little documentary. He's taking some video footage of everybody. We have Mel, she's a keynote speaker. She's coming up number 2. LeeLou, she's doing all the things. We've got Andrew over here. Everyone knows LeeLou, we've got Andrew. Andrew's going to be on B-cam and he's going to be cruising around taking some videos, and he's a keynote speaker as well. And we have DJ Dom over here. So she's got a whole new profession. She's going to kill it today, which is going to be really cool. Jordan's actually doing a lot of the work with all the screen and everything else, which is really cool. And I think we've got Liam, right? Yep. And then Liam's controlling that screen to make sure that things actually work. And of course we've got Morgan over here, and Morgan's not doing too much. So. We are finally here, we're about to go live, and I think everything looks really good. We just need to make sure we're having fun and we're just working together. We're on support, we're going around putting the balls in the things, and I guess not taking ourselves too seriously. I think that's the main thing, because getting here is the hard part, and then now we're here, we can sort of just mess around a little bit and do the thing.
If everything works.
As long as Morgan's stressed and the rest of us can be out of control, you know? So someone's got control, but other than that, big thanks to everyone, and hopefully everything goes good today. But don't be shy. If you need any help from anybody, just reach out to everybody. And don't be shy of each other as well. So
Let's do it.
let's do it.
I coached relentlessly for free to get people results wherever I could, whenever I could. I sold workshops for $7 so I could get in front of people to talk to everybody. I fucking have done everything, everywhere, and I do it all the time, and I show up the same enthusiasm because for me, I'm changing my life. This is what I'm doing, and this is the vehicle that I use.
Day 2, baby. Day 2, Jesus.
Day 2, it's all about to pop off, I think. Morning. Yeah, I didn't get too much sleep last night, about 6 hours, but I think yesterday everything went pretty smooth after all. I was really worried yesterday morning. I was a little bit stressed about it, but I think it all went smooth. And then today I'm feeling really pumped because it's the last day for starters. You know, there's like, I was saying to LeeLou last night, it's like you get 4 months of build up of like bringing everything together, everyone working hard on this, and then the very last day it's like it's all over, and that's a good feeling. Yeah, so it's sort of like a love-hate relationship by this stage. I think like maybe one day before the summit is around about when I get over the summit. I'm like, okay, that's enough. And then you have to show up for it. So it's like really hard. It's like the last 5% energy, you have to push through that. And it's definitely the hardest part of any event. Because leading up, you're excited, you're imagining what it's going to be like, and you're organizing everything, and you're trying to do everything you can to make it the best you can. But then the very last bit, it's like, now I have to do it all. But you're running on adrenaline by that stage, you know. So it's hard. But today's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna bring the energy and not talk too much. I think that's the aim of the game.
Let's go live.
I reckon that's a good crack.
Yeah, all right.
Like straight
Do we
up
need
the
them
because it's always going hard.
Yeah. Liam, can we get the chat box up on the screen? Oh, sorry, have you got that link?
Yep.
It should be up and running now. And the dark looks so fucking sick.
Welcome to day 2.
Nice.
So what I do want to explain today, just quickly to have a little bit of fun, I have a ship here and I have a little fun ship analogy on business.
I guess, to be honest, after the first one, I actually could envision us ending up somewhere like this. Jai's a dreamer, as I've said, and I know that he's got a vision that is far exceeding his last. So, to be honest, I've always had that belief that he's going to be pushing for something like this, and it doesn't surprise me at all that that I'm running, you know, a bigger team and working a bigger screen. You know, where we've got way more cameras around, we've got way more gear, we got a, you know, I could definitely picture it from that first summit. Yeah, to be somewhere like here, trying our best to push the envelope as hard as we can.
I think working with Jai has really pushed me outside of my comfort zone, and I am someone that can get bored really easily. So if I find that I'm getting stagnant, I'm not growing, that's when I'll just up and leave. And with Jai, it's just been non-stop, like every day, pretty much. You're learning something new about yourself, about your work. So it's really good. It pushes you to keep showing up.
Jai, your audio's coming in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, we're coming up almost to the end of the Wedding Photography Summit. It's been an incredible couple of days. Don't go away yet because we have the camera giveaway at the end. My talk is coming up at the end. And right now we have Evie and Lindsay from the Heart University. These guys are incredible. They have an amazing podcast called The Heart and Hustle. I love everything that they do for the community. I can always see their hearts in it, and I can always see their hustling. So 2 things that I love, right? I think we put so much emphasis on like us failing. There's not enough people signing up. There's an unhappy customer. We got a bad review. You know, the live stream it died, like whatever it is. There's so many things that happen, right? But for me, like I know all that shit happens, but I kind of block it out because to be in the position where I am, where I have to sort of hold up a team, hold up, community, make sure everything's working, make sure everything's in place, like, I can't put my attention into that because I need to see the success. Because if I'm not seeing it, no one's gonna see it. So you kind of need to look for that unrealistic goal and then let everything fall away. Nothing works out perfectly. Everything has fucking jagged edges all over it, and it's like you're kind of scrapping your way through trying to make things work. And I think there's that many failures that, like, if I talked about it, it'd just be a graveyard. Like, it's just too much. So for me, like, yeah, it's my biggest success is I haven't stopped, and that means I haven't failed. That's a wrap. We just finished. Big unrealistic goal here. We just pulled off the biggest summit ever. So amazing. Thanks to the community that showed up. We can't wait to party with you again next year. It's going to be a big year. Big things are going to happen, so look out. This is Jai, over and out. I'll see you soon.